Most High gave you. Everyone that has shall be given, but what?
And from him that had not.
And from what?
And from him that had not.
Meaning, and to the lazy man, the slothful man, what's going to happen?
Even that he had shall be taken away from him.
Shall be what?
Shall be taken away from
And
him.
the Most High is not going to ask, hey, can I take that talent from you? Like, you mind if I? No, you're going to take it like a thief in the night,
right.
You're going to wake up one morning, you're not going to know a damn thing. Now all of a sudden, you don't feel like going to camp anymore. Now all of a sudden, you want to go and then try to join the NBA or be a rapper all over again, right? Now the Most High plagued your mind with demons and thoughts to go back into the world. Now you start questioning the Bible. I don't really know about the Most High, man. The Most High putting demons on brothers, man.
Right.
I don't know, y'all. It really don't ask. Right? That seems impossible. I mean, because the geography, and then you start trying to learn like the so-called white man.
Right.
And you fall out this thing, man. This is what happens when you don't labor. This is what happens when you're not on fire.
Right.
Give me Revelation 2 and 5. What you order? 12. Chapter 15 and verse 28.
Bring it out.
8. 15 and verse 8. Hast thou heard the secret of God? Brothers heard the secret of God. Yeah, every brother's heard the secrets of God, man. Right. You know the mysteries. You know the breakdowns. You know America will be destroyed by fire, man. Right. Hast thou heard the secret of God? You know 2/3. What a sign that 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed. Right. You know that, man. Right. Hast thou heard the secret of God? Read. And dost thou restrain wisdom to thyself? Are you keeping wisdom to yourself? You just keeping it to yourself, and you know the secret of God. You have all the knowledge and understanding, but you're going to keep it to yourself. The Most High is going to destroy you, man. Read. What knowest thou? Though we know not. Now, give me Sirach 20 and 31 and read that. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 5. Everybody examine yourself, man. Every brother, we have to examine ourselves daily, man. Give me 2 Corinthians 13 and 5 and Psalms 26 and 2, man. If you're not examining yourself, you're on the verge of being reprobate. Right. You got nothing to go. You're going downhill. Even athletes check themselves, man. They'll check themselves. Okay, look, my numbers wasn't what they was. My stats. Okay, I gotta hit the gym a little bit harder. Right. Okay, I gotta show up to practice a little bit earlier. Right? You have to check yourself in this thing, man. Right. Read that. Revelation chapter 2 verse 5. Give me 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
You said 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. 13 and verse 5. And it reads, examine yourself, the Lord said.
Examine yourself.
Walking blind.
Examine yourselves.
Whether you be in the faith. Brothers got to ask yourself, am I really in this thing? Am I going as hard as I can go for the Most High? Do I actually take days off? Am I slothful? Do I really read like I should be reading? Do I study like I should be studying? When is the last time I fasted? Am I going hard for the Lord? Right? What did the Lord say? What do you get? Examine yourself. Do what?
Examine yourself.
And it's not on a Sabbath day. I knew somebody, they said, look, I only repent on the Sabbath. I don't have to repent every day. I wait till the end of the week. But guess what happened to them? They back in the world, man. Right. You can't just sit there, I'm going to pray only on the Sabbath, right? And I'm going to wait till the end of the week, then I'm going to acknowledge my sins. Right? Read on. Rather, ye be in the faith. You got to see, are you really in this thing? Just because you know that you're an Israelite, are you living like an Israelite? A lot of brothers know they Israel. We see people that walk past from the tribe of Judah, right? From the tribe of Benjamin, huh? But are you keeping the commandments? Right. Do you love your brother? Right. Is your house in order? Are you laboring for the Lord? Are you making your body a living sacrifice, man? Read on. Prove your own self. Do what? Prove your own self. Now you gotta prove yourself, man. You gotta see how hard you can go in this thing, man. Read. No. It isn't say prove to a mortal man. Prove to yourself, man. Because you gotta work out your own salvation, man. You don't have to prove a dead thing to me. Who am I? I'm not gonna judge you at that day, man. I'm not Yahweh Shai. I don't judge the quick and the dead, man. You have to examine yourself because you got to answer to Yahweh Shai, man. Who's going to render unto every man according to his works, man. That's written in Revelation 22 and 12. Not according to your talk, not according to what's in your mind, but according to your works. Give me that in Revelation 22 and 12, man. Read that. And the Lord said in Revelation 14 and 13, blessed are the dead, which die in the Lord from henceforth, and their works do follow them. So every man, you have to examine your works in this thing, because that shows how much you really believe. Read. This is the book of Revelation. You go back 22 and verse 12.
And behold, I come quickly.
No, 10 years.
And behold, I come quickly.
Maybe 300 years.
And behold, I come quickly.
Maybe one more century.
And behold, I come quickly.
Maybe another millennium.
And behold, I come quickly.
The Lord is coming like a thief in the night. And any given second, it can go down, man. And there's no woulda, shoulda, couldas when all hell break loose, man. Damn, I should have read, man. I should have studied that day. It's too late in that day, man. Damn, I should have kept that extra day, man. There's no woulda, shoulda, couldas with the Most High, man. This is it. This is what grace is about, man.
Right.
You have an opportunity from after death. Now you're in life. You're resurrected to serve the Most High, man. This is not like the damn vintage church when grace can be abused and you can willfully live in sin.
Right.
And the Most High just allows you to do what the hell you want to do, man. Grace is on a time period, man. And to everything, there's a time and a season. Grace will run out, man.
Right.
That door will close. So you better do the work while you can, man. Read on.
And behold, I come quickly.
Read.
And my reward is with me.
And what's the Lord's reward? The kingdom of heaven. Everlasting life. Immortality.
Right.
Service. Dominion.
Right.
Rulership. No more pain. No more stress.
Right.
No more nightmares. No more working for the so-called white man.
Right.
No more heart attacks. Your women coming up missing. Your sons be homosexuals. Planned Parenthoods. Damn sin wicked churches. And your enemy walking up and down proud, man.
You know?
That's right.
This is the reward of good labor, man.
Right.
Read.
And my reward is with me.
So what?
To give every man.
No, just one man.
Give every man.
From the tribe of Judah.
To give every man.
Just northern kingdom.
To give every man.
To give, and everybody's a man out here, man. To give every man what?
According as his work shall be.
According as his work shall be, man. That's what the Most High is going to give you. And the Most High is no respect of persons, man. He's a straight up judge of, hey, look, you did this, it's over. You did this, you made it. It's only two rewards, death and life, man. It's not like the so-called white man, you get parole, while you go, the Lord isn't giving you probation when he returns. All right, now, you know, I could destroy you, but I'm going to give you probation. This is your probation, man. This is your probation right now, man. Now bring that out. What we got?
2 Corinthians.
The damn halfway house, like the brother said. Read that. 2 Corinthians, chapter 13, and verse 5.
Bring it out.
Examine yourselves. The Lord said, examine yourselves. Whether you be in the faith, are you really in this thing? Right? The Lord, give me 1 Samuel 2 and 3. The Lord said, talk no more exceeding proud, like, man. Now to let arrogance come out of your mouth. For the Lord is the God of knowledge, and by him, actions are weighed, man. The Lord is going to weigh your actions out. Give me that. Here's the book of 1 Samuel.
Chapter 2, verse 3.
Read.
Talk no more, so exceeding proud.
A lot of brothers in their bio all praise to the Most High on Instagram. Right? Call me a shop, that's what they say. Call me a shop. Right? They walk around, they got the fanciest garment and the longest beard, man. And they say, I'm an Israelite, man. What are you? I'm from the tribe of Judah, man. The Lord said, talk no more exceedingly proudly. Read.
Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth.
Read.
For the Lord is a God of knowledge.
And the Most High knows what the hell you're doing. That's what it's saying. When it says he's a God of knowledge, it's not talking about algebra and calculus, man. It's speaking about the Most High knows what you are doing.
Right.
Read.
And by him, actions are weighed.
No, talk is weighed.
And by him, actions are weighed.
And they're going to weigh your actions out, man. What work have you done, man? How many times you took a day off for the Most High, man? I know brothers that take a week off, man. Had a long week. I'll be out next week, man. Right. And they drinking beers, man. Watching a big football game. Right? So the Most High is not dealing with brothers like that, man. Now read on. Read on when you left off. Whether you be in the faith, prove your own selves. Know you not your own selves. You don't know yourself. Everybody should know yourself. You should know what you got to work on. You should know what things you could do better at. You should know what things you have to sit there and pray and repent about. You should know yourself, man. Right. Nobody knows you more than your own about showing yourself, man. Now you can come out here all day and be righteous, but what you do in the dark, the Most High sees it. Right. And you see it. And everybody out here is dealing with something, man. A lot of brothers, I don't deal with nothing. I don't deal with no demons. I'm just, no, stop lying to yourself, brother. Right. Every brother is dealing with something out here, man. Small or great. Right. Whether you want to be proud or be something, you're not Yahushua, man. Right. You're not Yahushua, man. Yahushua is the only man without fault and without blame and without sin. So every brother sins. I sin, everybody goes off, man. Right. So you have to examine yourself and look internally and say, what can I get? How can I get rid of this demon? How can I get rid of this slothful spirit? How can I get rid of this damn lust demon I got on me? How can I get rid of this damn drunkard spirit, man? You have to examine yourself in this thing. You know yourself, man. Read on. Your Hawashah, Mashiach, is in you. Except you be reprobates. Except they be reprobates. Because if you're not examining yourself, you're void of the judgment. You're walking in blindness, man. Read on. But I trust that you shall know that we are not reprobates. We should know that we're not reprobates. Now, what we heard? Yeah, heard that. Give me the Psalms chapter 26 and verse 2. Examine me. The Lord said, examine me. So now you can examine yourself, but now you want the Most High to examine you, man. A lot of brothers, they scared to ask that. Oh, but I don't know. I don't want the Most High to examine me, right? I got it on my own. I mean, any brother that hurts themselves and you have pain, you can check out your own pain, but who's more qualified? A doctor. Right. And they might notice things that you have missed, man. Now you might self-diagnose yourself and err in the diagnosis and the judgment. Then you go to the surgeon and say, look, you really, you got cancer. What you mean you broke your arm? You thought you just had a scab and you got stage 3 cancer, man. Right? They put that. You don't have an x-ray at home. You don't have these things. So when you have these physical ailments, you don't have the necessary tools to truly diagnose yourself, man. So the Most High, He is the true physician. That's right. He's going to look eternally and see the things and spots and blemishes that you can't even see, man. Right. So you want to pray for the Lord to examine you as well. You examine yourself and you pray the Lord to look at the things that you may have missed, man. Read, oh Yahweh, and prove me. And what? And prove me. Now that's a heavy thing to say, man. Because once you say that, now you got to live up to it. Right. And the Most High going to prove you, man. Oh yeah, you want me to prove you? Right? All right. I got something for you, man. I'm going to put you through the furnace. You about to catch some hell. Oh yeah, I'm going to throw something your way. Right? Hey, angels, put a spirit in his wife to commit adultery. Let's see how he do. You want me to prove you? Right? Hey, put a spirit on so-called boss. Fire him, man. Straight up. Put a spirit on his landlord. Kick all this stuff out while he's at work, man. You want me to prove you? I got something for you. I'm going to see how hard you are, how much you believe in me, man. The Most High will test you, man. He will prove you, man. And you want to be proven by the Lord, man. Right. You want that. That's like your coach. You say, hey, what can I do better? And the coach, he said, I want you to bench press 250 now, man. Now you got to deal with it, man. Because that's the strength in you and build you up, man. Read on. Try my ways in my heart. Do what? Try my ways in my heart. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. So David, he believed in the Most High. He said, examine me, man. Prove me. I want to know where I stand in this thing, man. I want to make it to the kingdom. I'm sick of Babylon the Great, man. I'm sick of this captivity, man. I'm sick of this place, man. The Most High said, examine me. Now go back to Revelation 2. And it's the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 4. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. And that's one of my favorite precepts, man. Thou hast left thy first love. Meaning, guess what? Your first love is when you first came to the truth, man. Right. A lot of you brothers, you know how you first felt when you found out that you were Israel, man. I mean, you was geek, man. Right. You was telling everybody, man. All your cousins, your stepdad, you understand, your uncle, you was letting everybody know, your pastor. Right. Everybody knew that they was Israel. You was on Facebook, you activated your MySpace account, right? You went on Twitter, Instagram, you was on a bus, you was telling everybody, man. Right. You was watching all the videos, you locked yourself in the room. There was a time you used to love the Most High. Now you got brothers, I gotta go to camp. Now it's a chore. Now it's a burden to you. You're not the man you used to be, man. That's what the Lord is saying. You're a shadow of your former self. Read on.
Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen.
You gotta know how you fell in this thing. Read.
And repent. And repent and do the first work.
And what?
And do the first work.
No, just talk.
And do the first work.
And do what?
And do the first work.
You gotta do the first works in this thing, man. Now you've been in this thing for 35,000 years, or you just came in this thing yesterday, man. Right. You have to do your first works. And there's no respect of persons with God, man. Every brother, you have to go back to the spirit that you was in when you was on fire and diligent and ask the Most High to put that flame back on you. Right. And examine yourself and see what made you fall from the point that you was at, man. Was it taking days off? Was it excess drinking? right? Was it you trying to be a rapper? Was it you not studying? How did you fall? How did you end up in this situation where now you don't even fast anymore? How did you end up in a situation when this truth is not a chore to you, man? You have to sit there and all on the table and say, damn, this is how I feel, man. This is what made me go off, man. That's me trying to get 5 lives in Israel, man.
Right.
You got brothers trying to get 5 lives, man. Trying to take all of the lives they can, man. Isaiah 4:1. Right? Now they all in everybody's inbox. You're not studying, you're not reading, because you always saying, Shalom, sis, what tribe you from, man? The Lord isn't dealing with that, man.
Right.
What you doing?
Fuck it. And do the first work.
And what?
And do the first work.
And what?
And do the first work.
Yeah, you used to study for an hour, now you only study 10 minutes. You used to read 10 chapters, now you're content with 3 chapters. You used to fast twice a week, now you never fast, man. The Lord ain't what's gotten into you, brothers, man. That's what the Most High said. Do your first works, read.
Or else.
Or what?
Or else.
Or else, man. That's like your folks, man. Or else.
I will come into thee
The
quickly.
Lord will run up on you. And what?
And will remove thy candlestick out of his place.
Except what?
Except thou repent.
If you don't repent, the Most High gonna blow your fire out, man. And you're gonna be back in the world. And you're gonna look at your Bible and question it and say, how come this isn't the Quran? Then you go buy a Quran. Then we know brothers that shot up Bibles. They threw away their Bibles. We have one brother that shaved his beard off and said, I'm just taking a break from this Hebrew Israelite thing. And he went back in the world. And he's out, man. So the Most High will blow your candlestick out. I'm sure elders been in this thing. They've seen plenty of people fall out, man.
Right.
Come and go in this thing, man. We've seen brothers fall out.
Right.
And they didn't leave. The Most High kicked them out. They got fired, man. You can't leave this truth. Just like you can't come into this truth.
Right.
Give me John 6:44. The Most High has to draw you into this thing. And the Most High will cut you off, man. And send you back in the world, man. A lot of brothers saying, I left the truth, man. I'm done with it. No, the Lord left you, man. The Lord got rid of you, man. Read that. John chapter 6 and verse 44.
Bring it out.
No man can come to me except the Father which have sent me draw him. And I will raise him up at the last day. You can't just come into this truth, man. Nobody just came into this truth. I did this research and I found this out and I linked this up. But no, it don't work like that.
Right.
Every man and woman out here, you was drawn by the Most High. He threw that spiritual rope over you, said, now is your turn to believe.
Right.
Now is your turn to know that you're Israel. I choose you. Where's the account of you digging in a shovel and you found this big book with a question mark on it? You opened it up and it said, you're an Israelite. And confetti popped out. It never happened to anybody, man.
Right.
The Most High drew you into this thing, and the Most High will cut you off and send you back in the world, man.
Right.
It happens all the time, man.
Right.
Read on. Verse 45. It is written in the prophets, and they shall be all taught of God. Every man therefore that hath heard and hath learned of the Father cometh unto me. See that? If you heard and learned that came from the Father, you'll come to the Most High. But the Most High, He will get rid of you, man. There's no. Give me 2 Timothy chapter 4 and 2. Give me first. I'm gonna get a few more. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 1 and 20, man. Give me 3 John and give me verse 10, man. Right, give me 2 Timothy 4 and 10.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4 and verse 10.
Read.
For Demas have forsaken me.
Now this is a man that labored with Paul. He said Demas had forsaken me. Demas used to be on fire, man. Demas used to be in the truth. There was a time when it was believed.
Right.
And now Demas, he forsook the apostles. And what?
Having loved this present world.
Having what?
Having loved this present world.
Demas went back in the world. The Lord fired Demas, man. And sent them back in the world. Because he loved the Greek lifestyle. Right. He was in the truth. But he kept seeing Diana of Ephesus. Right? Then he kept seeing the temple of Aphrodite. Then he saw those togas them Greeks was wearing. And he saw how much fun they was having. And how he got to labor with Paul. He got to pick the books up and he got to keep getting this ship and getting shipwrecked. And it's too much for him, man. I can't deal with this no more, man.
Right.
This truth is too bad. A lot of brothers, the truth too hard for him, man. This truth is about long suffering too, man.
Right. That's right.
It's not just about Esau bowing down to you and telling him he going to slavery. You got to endure long suffering in this thing, huh? And then you have to love how to suffer. You have to embrace suffering in this thing. And understand this is what the Most High requires of you, man. to be forged in the fire. So demons took Paul having what?
Having loved this present world.
Having what?
Having loved this present world.
And there is no new thing under the sun, man. Read on.
And is departed unto Thessalonica.
He went back. Now Thessalonica is like New York City, man. He went back, man. That's like a brother came in. He left New York. He came back, and he went back to Times Square to watch the ball drop.
Right.
Read on.
It says Cretans to Galatia.
Cretans to it's like, what is it? Galatia.
Yeah.
Come on, go on.
Titus unto
Dalmatia.
Dalmatia.
Right.
Only Luke is with me.
What did he say?
Only Luke is with me.
Only Luke was with Paul, man. A lot of men labored with Paul. A lot of men fell out, man. Only Luke was with him. Go on.
Reading on. It says, take Mark and bring him with thee, for he is profitable to me for the ministry.
Now you have certain brothers that are profitable, man. The Lord said, take Mark, and he's a good laborer, man.
Right.
Demons went back in the world, and that's to just balance. Mark is a good laborer. Take with me Mark, for he is profitable to the ministry. Right. You have to ask yourself, are you profitable to the ministry? Or do you just come around, right, and say, Kwam Yashala, right? Or you just come around and you want the food, you try to see what food's going to be there. Right? You just come around, you only come around on the Passover because you want the lamb. I heard that lamb was good, man. What was that? What they season that with, man? What kind of wine was that, man? I never had that. You only come around on the Passover, man. Or are you profitable to the ministry? Are you willing to do anything and everything to magnify the Most High, man? Right. Are you willing to hold posts for hours? Are you willing to read till your voice go out? Are you willing to teach till your damn voice goes out, man? Are you willing to then pass out flyers? Are you willing to make signs? Are you profitable for the ministry or not, man? Right. Or are you just dead waiting this thing, man? Just sitting around waiting for something to happen? Or are you examining yourself, saying, okay, I am profitable, man. What can I do for the Most High, man? Every brother, ask yourself, are you profitable for the ministry? Because if you're not profitable, what is the Most High going to do with you, man? He's going to get rid of you. Right. There was a time when Paul didn't want Mark to labor with him, man. He said, I can't take Mark, man. Right. He wanted to go back to Jerusalem, man. Right. Then years later, Mark checked his spirit, and now he was profitable, man. So you got to examine yourself like the Apostle Mark, man. And he actually changed Paul's mind about him, man. Right. Now give me that. What else we got? 3 John and verse 10. Wherefore, instead of 8. Verse 8. We therefore are to receive such that we might be fellowships. Shippers to the truth, a rule unto the church, but Diotrephes. We're speaking about men in the church, because the things that we're talking about, they say, well, that never happened back then. What do you mean people never fell out? These are men that labor with the apostles, and we're showing you what happened when they wasn't on fire, man. The spirits the Most High gave them over to. How men fell out back then. And it's the same generation back on the earth. Right. The same generation from the 12 apostles, Paul, Silas, Timothy, and Barnabas, those men are back on the earth, man. The righteous men and the wicked men. Right. Alexander the coppersmith, Philetus, Hermogenes, Demas, Diotrephes, all these men you read about that were evil in the New Testament that came against Yahushua, they're back on the earth too, man. Right. You don't want to be Demas. You don't want to be a Diotrephes. You want to be a Hermogenes and a Philetus, man. You know. Bringing doctrines, causing confusions, and sifting people out, man. You know. Read. But Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminent, he what? He loveth to have the preeminence. Don't be a brother in this thing who loves to have the preeminence, man. And the Most High put it, that's a demon, man. Right. The Most High put a demon on Diotrephes because he wasn't right. Right. And made him want to have the preeminence, meaning he's the brother that always wants to be in charge. Right. Right? Everything goes through him. If you're not under him, you're not in the truth. Right. Among them receiveth us not. And he didn't receive the apostles. Who set up Diotrephes? The apostles. But the Most High put a spirit on him to come up against the apostles. Go on. Right. Wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds which he doeth, prating against us with malicious words. The Most High will kick you out the truth. Now you making posts about brothers in the truth, man. Right. I hate Hebrew Israelites. You was just calling yourself an Israelite, man. Last year it was Kwam Yashala. Now I hate you Hebrew Israelites, man. I'm over that Israelite phase, man. The Most High did that to Diotrephes. Right. He came in this thing and believed. He worked his way up, and he was a bishop, man. Then he started waxing worse, and he was he had to be an elder man to be a bishop. And then the Most High put a spirit on him, man, to make him come up against the truth, man. Right. The Most High would do that to you, old or young. Whether you demons age or you Diotrephes age. Read on. And not content therewith, neither doth he himself receive the brethren, and forbiddeth them that would, and casteth out them out of the church. He had a higher level of authority, man. But the Most High put demons on him. Right. He plagued his mind and put a spirit of pride on him, man. Because he wasn't right. He put the spirit on demons, man. Right. To go back into the world. Now give me 1 Timothy 1-20.
And it's the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 1 and verse 20. It says of whom?
Start at 18.
Verse 18. This charge I commit unto thee, son Timothy, according to the prophecies which went before on thee, that thou by them mightest war a good warfare.
Yeah, use these prophecies for the spiritual warfare. Go on.
Right. Verse 19. Holding faith and a good conscience, which some haven't put away.
Which what?
Which some haven't put away.
Some people put away the faith, man. They just threw it away, man. Read.
Concerning faith, have made shipwreck.
Have what?
Have made shipwreck.
Now certain brothers are shipwrecked. You were sailing in the living waters, then you got seduced and crashed your ship, man. Right. And drowned back into the nations. Go on.
Of whom is Hymenaeus and Alexander.
Now you got men named Hymenaeus and Alexander. They used to be in the truth. Then they put away the faith. They used to be on fire. Then they got cast away. They used to know that they was Israel. Then they start following the ways of the Greeks.
Right.
That's what happens. You don't examine yourself, man. The Most High put these demons on you, man, and plague your mind. Read on.
Whom I have delivered unto Satan.
He delivered them unto Satan, man. The Lord will deliver brothers unto Satan. Right now, the Most High been delivered over. The Most High delivered brothers under the protection of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. The Most High don't have to do that forever. He said, all right, I'm going to take you from under the adoption, and then you're going to be adopted by Satan, man.
Right.
Now the adoption belongs to the spiritual demon Satan, man. A lot of brothers are going to get delivered unto Satan, meaning back in the world, man. Read.
That they may learn not to blaspheme.
That what?
That they may learn not to blaspheme.
No brother out here wants to be delivered unto Satan, man. That's right. That's the most fearful thing, man. To go back in the world and have a reprobate mind. And a lot of people that are back in the world with a reprobate mind, they don't even know they're back in the world. They just think that, things are the way that they're supposed to be, man. Right? And they think that you're wrong. But the Most High sent them a strong delusion. Go on. Read that part, the last part again.
It says that they may learn not to blaspheme.
So certain brothers get delivered unto Satan, man. Are you a Demas? Are you a Hymenaeus? Are you an Alex? Give me 2 Timothy 4:14. Right? What man are you in these scriptures, man? Are you in the Nehemiah that wants to build? Are you an Apostle Paul, the wise master builder? You understand? Are you an Ezra? Are you a Peter? Are you a John who was with the Lord till his death? Or are you a Demas? Right? Or are you in Diotrephes? Right. What man are you in this thing, man? Read on.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 14. It says, Alexander, the coppersmith, did me much evil.
This brother used to be in this thing, man. Now he started preparing evil. Read.
It says the Lord rewarded him according to his works.
Now Paul prayed for this brother to be destroyed, man. You see that? Certain men that used to labor with Paul, now Paul put curses on him, man. Read.
Of whom be thou aware also.
And he told Timothy, beware of this guy. And certain brothers that fell out, and watch that brother, man, he fell out.
Right.
He'll try to seduce you, man. He used to be in this thing, now he got some bugged out doctrine. Now he's teaching that Yahweh Shah is not real. And the chariots don't exist. He used to believe, but the Most High put spirits on him, man. Give me John 12:16, go on.
For he had greatly withstood our word.
He had what?
For he had greatly withstood our word.
You could be in this thing that the Most High could turn you to a scoffer.
Right.
Overnight, man. We've seen it. Had your fringes on, now you're on this side scoffing, man. Driving past and y'all still out there teaching. Why don't you live a little, man? That's what happened to our forefathers, man. If you don't examine yourself, you're going to be subjected to the same spirits and plagues of the mind that your forefathers were, man.
Right.
Right? Read that. Job 12:16.
This is the book of Job, chapter 12 and verse 16. Bring it out. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceit and the deceiver are his.
The what?
The deceit and the deceiver are his.
Yeah, meaning if you're deceived and you get bugged out, the Most High did it, man. Anybody that falls out Any brother that has spirits on him, the Most High put those spirits on you, man. You were in this thing, you wasn't laboring, you wasn't doing the work of God, and the Most High has to get rid of you, man. This is what they call sickness season, man. Right. Like in corporations, they have that time where people are getting fired, man. Right. Everybody keeps getting that knock on their cubicle, man. And people are getting fired, and then you never know when you might be next, man. That's right. They did that during the so-called COVID, man. That's right. Everybody was on furlough, man. And you never know if you was going to get called next, man. Right. You got to go home and tell your women and your kids that you got fired, man. And they going to put their head down and say, that's okay, man. Right. But when you get cast out this truth, guess what, man? You're going to get destroyed, man. Right. And it's no unemployment benefits, man. Right. The Most High doesn't kick you out the truth and give you spiritual unemployment, man. He still give you a little bit of breakdowns on the 1st of the month. Where's it at in the Bible, man? He still break it down to you on the 1st and the 15th. Right? But then the other days, he's not there. There is no spiritual unemployment with the Lord, man. Right. Once you cast out, you cast out. It is over, man.
That's right. Read. This is 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 11. And for this cause, Yahweh shall send them strong delusion.
Shall what?
Shall send them strong delusion.
No brother out here wants a strong delusion, man. Now you just bugged out. Now you say, what a brother, the woman is God. Remember when you go to the book of so-and-so, the book of Nephi, and then you bugged out, man. Go on.
That they should believe a lie.
That what?
That they should believe a lie.
Now you got certain brothers, now you believe lies, man. We've heard plenty of strange doctrines. Right. The chariots are really elders. We talked about it last night, man. You know? We never went through the Red Sea. Moses never parted the Red Sea. Right? We're really the Edomites. And Alexander the Great is an Israelite. And Christopher Columbus is an Israelite. Right. Right? And Caesar Borgias is from the tribe of Levi. Right. This is madness, man. Brothers teaching Caesar Borgias is really a Levite. Where's that in the Bible, man? Madness, go on.
That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness.
So the Most High will condemn you and destroy you, man. Right. The point of the matter is, the Most High put the Spirit in us to go into this, man. Right? This is not of us. We didn't come out here to decide to go into these precepts. I didn't plan a lesson out. I didn't meditate on what I'm going to go into. This is all through the Spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. Right. So every brother has to examine himself, man. I examine myself as we read the precepts. You have to pray that the Most High examines you. You have to see if you're profitable for the ministry, and do you have a mind to labor and do the work of the Most High. That's right. Because if you don't have a mind to labor, why are you here, man? Right. Why are you here, man? Why are you in this thing? That's another question brothers ask yourself, man. Why are you in this thing? Are you here for the food? You're at the brother bought food. You decide to come up. Right? You put your harp and put your boots on. Right? You cut people off on the highway to get a turkey sandwich, man. Or you in this thing because you like the garments. Right? You're done with your skinny jeans and Jordans. Now you see the garments. Now you want garments. Or you want to be the latest rapper. You wasn't signed by Def Jam, but now you want to be famous in Israel. Right. Or now you can't get no woman in the world. Now you want to try to get a woman in the truth. Because they can't leave you. She can never leave me. I'm going to get one of them damn, what they call them, Israelite sisters, man. Right, why are you in this thing, man? Are you in this thing to magnify the name of God? Are you in this thing to teach your people? Or are you just here waiting for something to happen, man? Read that. 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 15. For some are already turned aside. What the Lord said? For some are already turned aside after Satan. Some people already turned aside after Satan, man. Some people already left, man. Right now, people may be thinking, I don't know how long I can endure this thing. You got to endure this thing to forever, man. Right. To the Lord return until you